Hello and welcome back to the 10th Pint Podcast. We're here with me, Luke, as normal, and Beefing.
Right, lads.
And today we've got very special guest, Sean, who's the marketing manager of Sound City. How are we, mate?
I'm alright, mate, yeah. Thank you very much for having us. Hello, everyone.
So to get started off with, for anyone who doesn't know, what is Sound City?
Sound City, so, as at its start, Sound City is a music festival based in Liverpool. It's actually our 15th year anniversary this year, and it's first started in 2007. It's an emerging artist music festival where we get some of the best talent in the city, in the country, and internationally as well, and bring them to, you know, the greatest city of music across small intimate venues, and showcase it to just like an audience of pure music lovers, really. As a company, that's sort of how it starts, but we branched out a lot since then. So we do a music conference as well, which happens at the start of the festival each year. We do events all around the world, not so much like since COVID and stuff like that, but and then we do a lot of like education work to bring through like the next generation of music professionals, whether that's like as an artist, as a performer, or like in the business sense as well. So yeah, I think that's in a nutshell everything we do.
Yeah.
Do you know the name Sound City, right? I always read it as like a sound city, sound like as in your sound. I always read it as that, you know.
Yeah, do you know what? There's almost certainly something in that. When Dave, who set it up, my boss, I'm absolutely certain that's like the way he wanted it to be read as well. Like have a bit of interpretation. I don't know that for sure actually. Dave, do you know what? I'm gonna ask him next time I see him.
Made up if that doesn't sound weird, no.
I thought it was just sound because the sound of music type thing.
Oh, like the musical.
Nah, not that like.
It works, doesn't it? And it's it's the city where a lot of music's been born and a lot of great music's been made, like historically, like in the late 50s and 60s. You know, when you think of Liverpool, it's just entwined with music. It's very much the backbone of what the city's built on. It is, the Sound City, and like even going back to the sort of ethos of the festival being like about emerging music, showing like the very best upcoming world. It's just like that's where, maybe there's a sort of like figurative thing as well as like the sound is, in this city kind of thing, and a mad mix of them.
What's the journey from like when it started to now being? How has it grown, and as you've seen it grow since you've been there yourself?
Yeah, so I weren't around for the first one because it would have been like 9, but as it started off, it's funny enough in a similar place this year and in 2021 to where it sort of started. So it started off in the city centre of Liverpool, across like a lot of the similar venues which are going on now, like I think it would have been like the Zanzibar, the Cars, the Jacaranda, Ship and Forecast. I'm not 100% sure if that's right, but around that area. And then it grew from there. One of the things that we like to do with each festival, just keep things fresh every time. So when I first started, we just come out of the docks after a couple of years. Went back to the Baltic Triangle for a couple of years. Now we're going back into the city centre. We've had stages in the past, like in the Anglican Cathedral, and it just, it's always stayed in the city centre. It sort of branched out a little bit, like when it was down at Docksmore, Bramley Moor ways. But it's one of the things, the core of it is always the same, but you try and get, try and put a different spin on it each time.
I'll just go about, like, do you book the artists first or the venues?
That's a good question. I think the artist booking with any festival, it sort of takes like it's absolutely months in advance. And for the most part, like we're having conversations now about where the site's going to be next year. And I know there's some artists which have already been booked in for next year, and those conversations happen. They sort of tend to happen in tandem. If I'm being totally honest, I'm not the person who books the festival or anything, but it's very much a kind of like we say, we're constantly looking to like reinvent. We're constantly looking to change it up, not just for ourselves, but the audiences and the people who come. And that's a lot of that comes like a bit off the cuff as well, kind of thing. So it's just like, right, here's an idea, and then let's just run with it, and we go with it. So yeah, there's no hard fast answer to that. Sorry.
What's the best year been so far since you've been there, and who was playing?
Do you know what? So my first year would have been so funny enough, in 2018 I played it with a band, and then 2019 I worked it as a sort of like just on a part-time thing, and then sort of got taken on full-time after that. So like that first year was boss. Like I was only there a few months, so I didn't see the full lead up to it. But just sort of just seeing like the inner workings of it and all that, and like the madness of it and the hectics, and just like I remember that was the year which we had Loyal Carner and Mabel. Loyal Carner was on the Sunday, and I just remember that like there's a lot of work goes into it anyway, but like that week up is mental, and then the weekend itself you're running on pure adrenaline. But I'll never forget being stood like by the side of the stage when Loyal Carner was on, and it was just like it was pretty, it was the headline. It was like massive booking. It was a phenomenal performance, and just sort of being with all the people that you worked on with it for the last few months, and everybody just like it's sort of it's a massive payoff like when you get to that. And then after that we had an after party with in Constellations, and it was like Slow Tie was there just before he went mad, and it was just like it was some night. So there's that one, and then fully enough we didn't do another festival for like 800 days after that or something stupid because of everything which went on. So the sort of relief of getting the 2021 one out the way, was massive. It was considering everything. The odds are stacked against you kind of thing, and like it's a completely, new territory for anybody in events recently, but just actually having that happen and it being a success, it was massive. So the sort of two that the two out of the two that I'd worked, I think from a sentimental kind of point of view, just like that first one was massive kind of thing. But in terms of like actually sort of getting stuck in and sort of being able to know that like I sort of I'll bring it on. What
band were you in, and what instrument did you play?
I was in a band called Cabazoodos. Like it was like a 5-piece sort of rock band. I played keys and trumpets on it, and yeah, we were doing all right. We won a Battle of the Bands competition a few years ago, like, right. And then we done like a couple of small tours, but yeah, it was just sort of didn't work out.
Never get it back together.
Nah, well,
get you back on the podcast as a band.
The big reunion. Well, the singer Jackie, he's based out in Australia now in another band, so it's going to be hard to get him back. Although, do you know what? He said he was threatening to come back in April, so maybe, who knows?
You know what you could do? All of you playing, just have him on Zoom. Along.
On the screen, like behind.
Be like 3 second Zoom delay though. Worse than that.
As you just mentioned about, don't want to go on about COVID, but like how obviously as something that is a physical thing and you have to be there, an event, how do you just cope with that? Because was it only one festival that was missed, or was it 2?
It essentially would have been 2. It was, so we got so the last one was 2019 in May. The one after that was supposed to be May 2020. And then obviously COVID sort of kicked off like in here, didn't it, like February, March time. So that was pushed back, and then that got moved to October, and then that got pushed back to May 2021, and then we ended up doing it like October 2021. So essentially there should have been 2 festivals happen in between the last one and when it actually happened. In terms like the challenges of it, do you know what, like it was the last few weeks when there was a point where you sort of knew it was going to happen kind of thing, and that was a relief. But at the same time, there's only so much planning you can do. Like the government guidelines were changing all the time, like all the procedures that you put in place, which rightly as well, because it's for the health and safety of the public, and as much as everybody was absolutely dying to get back out there and experience festivals again, it's like you got a few thousand people on site, you owe it to people to sort of take those measures in place and take it seriously, which we did. So in the end, it wasn't too bad, because we just it was like you go into the box office, you have to check like your COVID passport or your the COVID pass thing or your proof of a negative test, and then you were just into the venues, and because it's all a multi-venue thing and they've all been doing their own events by then, they're all hot on those procedures anyway kind of thing. So it was it was different, but it was it worked out in the end.
Was that the first time Sound City had ever been done in like winter sort of season in October?
Yeah, I think so. It's always been that we're usually like one of, if not the very first festival in festival season. Like the next one's obviously just sort of May Bank Holiday weekend, the first one, and that's where it always is. They always say it's like the weather's always boss on the Sound City weekend, but actually, like doing it in October, it was just it was okay to be outside. It was cold, like, and I think they absolutely chucked it down on one of the days, like, and I just remember just running around soaked. I had it, and it was a bit grim, but I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I can remember. Well, that was our first Sound City this year, weren't it? So we went for the weekend. It was boss, weren't it? Yeah. But I can remember it was raining one of the times, and it was like a little shelter, not Grand Central. We were bombing it down there.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that was boss that last year, though, weren't it? The lineup was mega as well.
Yeah.
Do you remember seeing the snuts?
Nah, did you?
Did you not get in?
Well, right, we got in, but we were there in body, weren't we?
Yeah.
We were just bladdered, to be honest.
Yeah. Both of us can't
remember anything from it. But we've got a photo with them and that, didn't we?
Yeah, can't like remember.
Yeah.
Speaking to them or nothing. I think at one point both of us were outside while they were playing because you were feeling sick, weren't you?
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean?
to be honest with you, that Friday night, because it's usually, we have the conference on a Friday and then we have sort of like a few little so it's a few smaller gigs floating around, but because it was as much as anything, because the festival had been pushed back so much, we just thought it was just trying to like, right, we need to make this like our biggest one yet, kind of thing. So we went to 3 days, and I'll tell you what, like doing that extra day does kill you. Like everybody just went a bit mad on that Friday. It's like, right, we got 2 more days of it.
What are you doing then, like on while it's happening?
So my sort of job, do you know what, mine's alright over weekend, because like I look after on that, just like main like marketing and photographers and stuff like that, and kind of organise where everybody's going, like running the social media channels, working with like the videography team, just making sure that every sort of bit which happens over that weekend is captured, which on plus sides, like, we work with a few people to get in, but it just means I can just like walk around into different venues rather than just being in the production office. But you get your steps in, lad. I'll tell you what. Like
can you still have a bevy?
On the slide.
Yeah. You treat yourself, like, but it's the thing is, because like when you're looking after the social media accounts, if you need to be sort of careful once you've had the bevies. One thing what I'd throw up, but then when you're looking after the like a platform which you've built over for 15 years and you've had a few too many, then
waking up the next day with regrets.
Yeah, exactly. Like 3 missed calls from the boss, just like, Sean, call me as soon as you get up. Like, oh shit.
Have you ever had any nightmares like organising it? Because I can imagine it's something like that to be really hard.
Yeah. What?
That you can share, like.
Well, I'm just trying to think of just like there's loads of things, but the thing, I can't think of an example. There is just like it just, especially as you get closer. To be fair, it's touch wood. It's going all right in the run up this year. I can't think that I've not. Actually, do you know what? I haven't said that. I was just gonna say we haven't had a major disaster, but Grand Central Hall, which is the main stage, is just gone. So, but we've got a solution in place for that, which we haven't gone out with yet or anything. But it's gonna be sound.
Where will it be? Because this will probably be out in a few weeks.
Yeah, it'll be 2-3 weeks. This.
Yeah. Well, there's a few different options that there's sort of like a plan B and a plan C kind of thing, and I don't want to say it. I'll tell you after. No, I don't want to say it in case we go for the other one and people go, oh no, you should have done the other one. But yeah. So there's things like that. But I mean, it's with any events company, to be honest, and any sort of, any situation where you've got like a load of people coming to whatever it is, there's always going to be hiccups. It's just sort of how you sort of deal with them. And our team, to be fair, it's only small, but we've sort of been working together pretty tight knit for a few years now, and we get, we can pull it. We trust ourselves sort of pull it out the bag. So yeah.
So what's the busiest you've seen it? Because like as you mentioned before about the snuts, like loads of people never got in for that because obviously the venue was full. Like, what's the busiest you've seen it where like a band's been on and
the snuts was mad. Like I nearly never got in myself, to be honest. And I was just there playing the social media cards. Like, I've got to get this on the socials. And the bouncers weren't having any of it, but managed it in the end. Do you know what, the year Loyal Kana played, actually that was completely locked out on that end, and then I think in the Jacaranda this year there's a band called Noise who played, and that's only a small venue down there, and that's just packed. The thing is, it's all regulated by the venues, and there is strict capacities on them. So but because we bring like quite a lot of like buzzy bands to the city, just like if there is a band that you want to go and see, and this year more than ever, you'd have to get down early for it. You'd have to get in. And the good thing about that is it spills out into other venues. So even if you can't get in, for the band that you sort of had on your list, so you spill out into somewhere else, and like that lineup so like carefully curated between like Steve, like the bookers, Jamie, and all the sort of partners that we work with like across the world, because we get in people who sort of have got their the sort of ears to the ground in different music scenes, and sort of work with them so that we can bring the best to Liverpool. And it's kind of, so 9 times out of 10, if the band that you'd wanted to see that you've probably already seen before, you can't get in for, that's not the worst thing in the world, because you'll go into next door and you'll have your head blown off.
It's boss that. Like, what I was going to say then was, like, who are you most looking forward to seeing this year? Because the lineup's boss, isn't it?
Do you know what?
Like, it's Latham's first.
Latham's first Deadline Festival, so that's going to be big. Do you know what? Right, to see them, they played the Arts Club twice last week, but Crawlers were just like unbelievable. On
a lot of people have said that. I think Jamie said that last week, didn't he? Yeah.
There's a lot of hype around them, isn't there?
Yeah, massively. And there's a band called the Deep Blue as well, who sort of on the A to Z. They're a all female 4-piece group from Manchester. They like the 3 of them. They sing like 3-part harmonies. And they've got like a sort of like an indie folk kind of indie pop thing going on. They are the best in the game at what they do in terms like the 3, getting harmonies and go. You listen to it. Yeah, definitely. You listen to them and you just like, it's one of them. It's just proper like almost like Fleetwood Mac Dream vibes kind of thing. And you know that sound that you're hearing, just like that's boss. So them do you know what? Funny enough, they played last year, and I'm a bit of a hype man for them, because he played in the Casimir Stockroom, and I was just saying to everybody, he's like, get down for these, and it's like, we've got to get them on next year in a bigger venue. So yeah, them.
Is there anyone else going down a list you're like hype up and tell people to go down?
Yeah, hype man for.
Yeah, I know. That's bad that I've done the same band 2 years on the bounce.
I'm looking forward to seeing Brooke Coombe, because she was meant to play it last year, when she but unfortunately couldn't. Yeah. And I was meant to. She's supporting Red Rum Club, and I missed her there as well, so I'm looking forward to seeing her.
Mate, she's
got some tunes.
Yeah, she has. Have you heard a new one, Miss Me Now? Like, just came out like a couple of weeks ago. It's just a proper banger. Yeah, but and do you know what? That's the one thing which I'm hoping won't happen as much this year. Happen with festivals or sort of do last summer, just like that thing, just that last minute COVID cancellations and stuff like that. Like that, I think that's what done Brooke in. Yeah. Do
you still have to cancel now if you're a band if you get COVID, or is it like?
I think you do. Like you see people like cancelling a few dates every now and again, but it's not as well, it doesn't seem to be as prevalent at the moment anyway. Hopefully it stays that way for the next few weeks. So
Well, what's like the maddest thing you've seen at Sound City?
Do you know what? The first year it went, actually, I can't remember what they're called, but we get like a load of wider arts in, and like performers who just sort of bring that sort of festival energy to the streets, and just like a load of mad stuff. And there was these 2 women, and they were dressed up in like, it was like, I don't even know what you call it, but just sort of like 1-piece leotards, and we're going round with like sponges and stuff, and you're just cleaning like members of the public and that, and you're just like washing cars.
What was the aim of it though? Like, what, like
I don't know, lads, to be honest. but they were just sort of like dancing. They had tunes with them and stuff like that, and you just like the thing is, because when it was in the Baltusargue, you just go down Jamaica Street, and it's just like members of the public anyway, can't they? So if you didn't know the festival was going on, which to be fair is kind of hard at that point, you can hear the tunes everywhere. It just looked a bit mad. So, do you know what? Now I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure they were part of the festival, because there's photos of them. But they might have just been. They could have been anyone, actually. Yeah, but there was that. What else is the? Do you know what? This isn't a mad thing, but just something I'll always remember is on that Sunday, the first year, the Magic Gang covering what's it called? Can't Take My Eyes Off You. And it was just at the end of the festival, just before like Confidence Man came on, and it was just like it just went off. So
that's boss that.
Yeah.
How many people attend Sound City?
On site each time, I think it's around about 5,000 people on site per day.
Is that overall?
Yeah. So it's it's a lot. When you think of like the size of those venues and that.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked at like going into other cities, like doing like a Manchester-based or London-based Sound City type thing?
Well, funny enough, we partnered with a company in Egypt. Egypt? No, Ipswich, I meant to say.
Bit of a difference there.
Yeah, I know. Just like Mo Salad on the brain, 24/7. Like, that's what it is. A company in Egypt. I've done it again. That's mad, that. In Ipswich, and they've done they just called Sound City Ipswich, and they done their first one in October 2019, and they've done another one just literally the same weekend as what we did, and it's sort of like a sister festival thing. But like we sort of said at the start, we've done events like all across the world in the last in the history. So we've done like a Sound City New York. Every year we do Sound City Korea, where we take artists over from the UK into Seoul with a festival called Zandari Festa. And likewise, they bring artists over here and do a stage.
I think Franz told us a story about that from Red Room Club.
Did he? Yeah.
He said, yeah.
How does that even come about though? Like Korea.
It's like a sister festival.
Kind of, yeah. Like it's a partnership thing. And like as the sort of the founding principles of the festival, just bringing like the best music from all over the world. And like I said before about like working with other companies and people who have that same like passion for new music, just like these connections grow, and it's been built over like 15 years. So it's it's stuff that we do every year, and to be honest, we haven't been able to go over to Korea, but I've got my eyes on it for next year. I'm not gonna lie. I fully want in on that trip.
Nah, it's nice. No, we're grateful for it though, aren't we, Sound City being in Liverpool, because like it is just on our doorstep, and especially getting to see like the lineup full of all them bands. How many tickets is left for like this year then for like people watching?
Not many at all. So we've got I think the weekend ones will probably go in like the next couple of weeks. The Saturday ones running very low because like there's a lot of it's a lot of noise around the Latins and the last headline festival and stuff. And we always get just as we get closer to that bank holiday weekend as well, there's a lot of noise, so it's going to be absolutely shocking.
I'm made up you've said that, because I never knew it was a bank holiday weekend.
Yeah, get that,
nice
get that Monday off work.
Yeah.
We'll still be there probably cleaning up, like, but yeah.
No, that's boss that.
So yeah, get your tickets, people.
Where can you buy them?
You can buy them from the Sound City website, which is soundcity.uk.com.
That's good, that. Professional.
Yeah.
There you go.
Came prepared. What's sort of like the biggest artists with Sound City have like had on in the past? And I think you've seen, you have had DMAs, is it? And Catfish as well.
Yeah. Do you know what? There's some absolutely like mad stories from it, like in years gone by. So, let me see. So do you remember Bumper? Like, might be a bit like young for it, but there's a place in it's Hanover Street. I'm rubbish with road names in town, but it used to be like a 3T club there.
What street's it, Chase?
Hardman Street.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, Hardman Street. And Ed Sheeran played there in like 2011.
Did he? Yeah.
And
That's crazy, though.
And it was something like, again, I weren't about, but it was something like he forgot his plectrum or something, so just went down to the production office where everybody was at. And to be fair, there was a lot of noise down them at the time, and just just came in. It was apparently a lovely fella. Just come find the plec, and then everybody just like all these sorts of industry heads were just like, oh no, just like I haven't got one for you, lad. But I think he sorted it, and he was sound. You're on to Attic. I think it's gone now. Been there.
Oh yeah, I'm on it. Yeah.
Florence and the Machines played there.
After yeah.
Mad.
That's blew my head off, don't you?
Yeah, literally.
That's mad.
What else is there? Oh, there's loads. Lizzo.
Yeah.
She's done the shipping forecast. The downstairs. And you know what? Annoyingly, there's only one photo of that, and it's just like when you go to all the archives, because I don't know, the way somebody organising them photographers, right? But just like that. Just if we could unearth some footage of that, I'd love to see it. Like,
There must be some somewhere.
Surely.
How big was she then, though? Well, how long ago was that?
Well, she's like, I think that's probably about, off the top of my head, 2013, something like that. But she's one of them who's just like proper grafted at every stage. She's absolutely global now, megastar kind of thing. But she's released a good few albums and stuff like that, and been through like the ringer with a few record labels before getting to that point.
Yeah.
What else is there? We had Storm when we were on the docks. We had Storms in like a 200 cap tent.
Mad though.
What else? In like, I'm trying to think if there's any more recent ones. We had Idols on. We had Joe Talbot from Idols actually. A few years ago. I can't remember who we supported, but like that was just before they blew up. Again, funny enough, they're another band who just like grafted dead hard and worked it from the bottom up. There's literally loads of them. Grimes played. Can't remember what year. Youngblood. About I think like 2017 before he was there. There's like stuff in I think it was in like the Blade Factory actually or something like that. And that's sort of the most exciting thing about it, because we'll fully be here in another 15 years. There'll be artists on the lineup this year which would be like, oh, can't believe it, seeing them in.
It's good having them festivals though, because it like parachute, like it's still a big audience, but it's still small enough for it to be like intimate, and then like it parachutes them artists to then superstars, like as you've mentioned, that Curating and that.
Well, that's kind of like the point of it in a way. Just like there's a lot of major music festivals about, but there isn't. We've cultivated a sort of core audience over 15 years. You'll get people who sort of like buy tickets because of who the headliners are and who because their favourite band's playing, and that sounds like every festival gets that, but. We're lucky in the sense that we've got like a core audience now, which you don't even have to announce who's playing a festival, but will buy a ticket, because like I was saying before, that thing of just walking into a venue without knowing anyone and just coming away and just like and then discovering like the new favourite band. People do that, and to be fair, it's a reason that like COVID hit everybody hard, but actually just having we've saying to people like, keep hold of your tickets, and we're so grateful for everybody who did, because it kept us going, really did. So, yeah, it's I can't remember what your question was then.
Yeah. Do you know the lineup for this year? Is that finalised now, or can bands still apply to play and stuff like that?
So the apply to play is closed as of a few weeks ago, and we're working through all them. There was literally like thousands to get through. I think. Do you know what? I think Jamie, who's looking after it, literally got through it today. I think he sent an email just like saying, "I've finished it." So, so that they're all to be on. I'm not entirely sure how many slots there are, but we usually do like a little drop like a couple of weeks before, and there's a few tricks up the sleeve, like put it that way. Yeah.
Can you say any?
Nah, not a bit. Not risking it.
Just need like any like volunteers or photographers or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just for anyone who's listening.
Yeah, absolutely. Always. So it's I think that there's if you are a photographer or like social media, you can drop me an email if you want to, which is Sean, SEAN @soundcity.uk.com. But then there's a volunteer page on our website as well, which I should have pointed you towards first. Where it's got all like an application form, an email address and stuff like that. But we're looking for it, not just like photographers, but or not just digital things like photographers, videographers, social media people, like stage hands, like production assistants, accreditation, literally, one thing that is boss about the company, to be fair, is just like bringing in like next generation of people and giving opportunities. Some of the, well, to be fair, I started off like that in it, and it's just that first step on a ladder, because it's a pretty hard industry to break into. So if anybody does want to get involved and not really sure where to start, like, this is 100% the place for it.
Yeah, well, what another question I was going to ask you is, would like 15-year-old you be like made up of where you are now and that?
Sassy with us.
Yeah, I don't know. 15-year-old maybe want to be playing the festivals probably, but nah. But 21-year-old maybe made up. Yeah.
Nah, that is right.
I'll take that.
What music are you into, like specifically in Liverpool at the moment? Any up and coming bands or artists?
Wow. It's proper bubbling at the scene at the moment. Like, it's the best I've sort of known it in years. Like I've been here for years. But you know, there's a lot of bands which are sort of breaking through it, which should almost become big names. Like like we said, like before, there's like Crawlers, Stone, Smashing It, Curating, Monks, Band called Rainmaker are just sort of coming through.
Yeah.
If you're onto
Yeah, the
them.
sound.
Yeah, the Sway as well. And it's just, you know what, as well, there seems like a really good sort of community feel. So obviously you've got like
definitely.
lads like yourselves just bringing it up and just like giving a platform to the emerging artists as well, which, you know, I hope we do as well. But everybody seems dead supportive. There's a proper like you know, even from the top of like, you know, the likes of Red Rum Club, the likes of Jamie Webster, the Mystians giving up like a hand up to the other bands kind of thing. It just feels really like everybody's got each other's backs at the moment anyway.
Everyone
the
we've
Dream
met
Machine
being like
boss.
that, like, yeah.
There's loads, and it's, you know, it's only going to get better. There's a band called Alright Okay as well. I think they're playing a festival, so they're sort of, do you know what? I don't even know if they've released anything yet. Actually, if they have, it's only a couple of singles, but they're worth going to. There's loads.
So what venues is it this year then, as well? Is it like the same sort of ones as last year?
Yeah. Off the top of my head, we got the Arts Club Theatre and the Loft. We got the Jacaranda. We got Ship and Forecast. EBGBs. Phase One's coming back. Leaf isn't actually this year, but we've got Zanzibar back. Which is boss actually. It's one of my favourite venues. I was gutted when it shut down, but it's amazing. It's back. The Casimir Stockroom. There's definitely some more, but I can't remember.
Who would be your like dream headliner for like Sound City?
Me? Do you know what? That'd change all the time, but I'm proper in a Dua Lipa phase at the moment, mate. Like,
I wasn't expecting that answer. You know.
If you gave me 100 guesses, that wouldn't be one of them.
I think it's just because I had it on in the show before it came out. So,
you singing it?
I don't know about that.
What's your favourite Dua Lipa song?
I like a bit of Levitating at the moment. Like, yeah. Funny enough, she's playing the Echo Arena on a Friday at Sound City, so we're trying to get her down for the conference, but she weren't having it. But yeah, I'll go for that. That feels like a good answer, actually.
Yeah,
I
like
would
the
expect
response.
But I rate that answer. I really rate it. Do you know Sound City, right? Do you have to have like a license to do a festival, or is it just like?
Yeah, you do. I'm not. To be honest, it's not my area of expertise, but I know there's a lot of sort of like procedures which you'd have to go through. But like, not everyone can just sort of rock up and put a festival on, kind of thing. It's a lot of especially with it being a multi-venue place. There's so many like sorts of dots to join up. And then you know, there's a lot of, what's the word, like the only sort of word I can think of is like, you know, like safeguarding, but I know that's schools, but that kind of thing, you got to work with the council. But yeah, to be honest, it's not my thing that I deal with.
Yeah, because it's like a full-on city takeover, isn't it?
Yeah, literally.
Loads of people booze walking around and that.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's a nightmare trying to get a road closed. Like,
yeah. Did the council ever say like, no, you can't do this venue and that one because it's too close and there's too many people and anything like that?
I don't think so. I think generally speaking, like the council have been pretty supportive of everything that we do, and yeah, there's not been a case that I can think of off the top of my head, certainly when I've been here, where they said no, you can't do that. It's just there's, you know, there's procedures for these things, which is time consuming, but also, you know, it's right, isn't it? You can't, because otherwise people would just be fezzies
in a garden and that.
Imagine that, lads.
Yeah, up the illegal raves and that.
Remember them in lockdown?
Yeah, that was mad that way, innit? What a mad time that was. No, but what would you say your top 5 favourite songs are by current artists from the Sound City?
Wow, what a question that is. That's proper put me on the spot, that.
I know, I should have already texted you to...
Yeah. Right, so we'll go for the Deep Blue one. We'll go for He Said, She Said by the Deep Blue. That's a belter. We'll go for... Monks, That Night Moves EP is
class,
unreal. Which one? I don't know. We'll come back to that. So I'm literally going through it in my head now. We go for Miss Me, Miss You Now. I can't speak. The Brook one I was on about before.
Yeah.
Miss Me Now. We go for. Do you know what? That oh, what's the name of it?
Who's a boy?
Do you know what? It's not even out yet, but it's the new Latham's tune. Sad Face Baby, it's called.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Have you heard it? Yeah,
have you heard it?
They've played it live when I've seen them, and
Yeah.
No.
it's no, that's a belter. Like that'll go off when that comes out.
But yeah, I don't know if I've leaked it. That's coming out soon, so if this doesn't leave this room. Yeah. Ah, shit. I'm gonna get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Nah, that's sad.
There's no time scale on soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many have you said there?
4.
Sort of 4. Oh, lad. I feel like I'm doing a proper.
Do I think a shout is Ratings, Kids Off the Estate?
Yeah,
That's
belter.
an
They're
anthem.
smart. Do you know what? In terms of like a sort of, you know, we're all about like the sort of northern spirits and sort of like 2 fingers up to the you know, the southern music scene kind of thing. And just like they're another, you know, the Sheffield based absolutely smashed. They've done it the hard way. Made loads of noise. I think they got a top 10 album towards the end of last year.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't know if they've played Star City before. Actually, they might have done a few years ago when new sorts are starting out. But nah, they're class, them lads.
Yeah, I'm buzzing to see them. Me like
Yeah.
seen them a few times before, and it's just fucking mad. The crowd and that, like.
Nah, I've never been, to be honest with you, but you see all the footage from their hometown shows, like, and they just look insane, don't they?
Yeah, I seen them last year at Tramlines, and that's like in Sheffield based, and everyone's just nuts for them. You would have thought they were like the headline stuff for that day, and that mad. But
I tell you what, actually, a tune from one, to be fair, one of the higher up ones, Alfie Templeman, Happiness in Liquid Form. Now, if that doesn't get you in the mood to put on a pair of swimming trunks, nothing will. Oh yeah,
that is right.
What would you say your top 3 albums from Liverpool, not the festival, or
from
both?
Liverpool. Oh. Yeah, lad.
You can include the Whirl as well.
Okay. Alright, to be fair, there's a lot of good stuff coming out the Whirl. I love Butterfly House by the Coral. That's a belter. Like 1,000 Years, I reckon, bury me to that tune. Okay, that. Do you know what? It's an obvious one, but Abbey Road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is that your favourite Beatles album?
It
then
is,
as well?
yeah. That's RB, lads. It just keeps on peddling. You know what I mean? It'll never not be exciting. Like, right. Bloody hell. It's tough, this.
Deep in thought.
Yeah, lads, yeah. I want to give a good answer. Shaq. HMS Fable, yeah.
Yes.
It's right.
We're seeing Michael, aren't we, on Tuesday?
Are you going the Angus one, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in there on the Monday.
Gonna be heavy, that.
Yeah, it's boss.
Do you know, have you ever, I don't know if you've done it last year, but just like consider filming the set or anything, and then like uploading it to like a YouTube channel or something?
Yeah, so we do have people film the whole festival, and we use it for you know, all sorts of stuff. It's in terms of filming literally everything which goes on, because the small venues and a lot of them aren't kitted out for that kind of like production.
Yeah.
And it's I know adding in like sound engineers onto literally everything. Like you can film things that looks boss, but actually getting quality audio from it. From it's you know, it's another thing kind of thing, like a logistical layer to it. But we do film literally everything, and we get load of footage from it, and it just all gets archived. Yeah,
because I think like
the after
particularly
movies and all that.
Yeah, I think particularly with like Tramsmith, Leeds Festival and Glastonbury, all the footage of that on YouTube, Glastonbury sells out anyway, but like for Leeds and Tramsmith, I think that what gets the big buzz.
Yeah,
around
like
it, you know what I mean?
like the videos for the next year and then sell tickets and that.
Yeah, but to be, you know, if the BBC want to come down and film Sound City, by all means they can.
Yeah, you should do.
Yeah, get it on iPlayer. Yeah.
No, that'd be boss, that.
Hey, if you got Florence and the Machine on iPlayer in Attic like that, that'd be on millions of views.
That's mad, you know. The Ed Sheeran one's like the maddest one, though.
Yeah, literally.
You've mentioned like the music press conference on the Friday.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
So that's like so that's where it's sort of like aimed at artists, but also like aspiring industry professionals and to be fair, established. So we get people coming down from big names within the sort of music industry, people in the background, people from like whether they're artists, managers, record labels, people from like stream services like Spotify, Apple Music, just people who sort of make things happen behind the scene, and it's designed to just like open up like conversations about issues in the industry, what the latest sort of trends and insights are, kind of thing. And it's a bit of it, it's a lot of like networking and brains getting together and meeting new people, and it's ideal for if anybody does want to get into music, literally whether you're an artist, because there's so many people that you can meet there and so many people who can help you out in your career, but also if you sort of you're wanting to get into music, like sort of like how I did, and not be on a stage kind of thing, but also just work it. You've got to get yourself to these events kind of thing, because they're so valuable. And everybody there has done it as well, like that starting out, trying like talking to people, and people are happy to do it. So it's a massive like education, and it's just, you get someone like literally the biggest minds in music come. To be fair, we've literally just done an announcement for it today actually, and we've got like we've gone out with like Simon Moran, who runs SJM concerts, who literally one of the biggest in the country. We've got like Rob Swerd, like we use local fella to be fair, and he manages like Michael Kiwanuka, Little Sims, The Cooks, all that, and just like these people who just like, to be fair, if you're just like a casual fan of music, you don't necessarily know, but if you want to get in, just like they're the people to talk to, like.
Yeah, like one conversation could change
literally
like the direction of an artist, or even anyone behind the scenes career, couldn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is, for any emerging artist about there, that is the currency. Like everybody wants to discover the new thing, like the next best thing. That is what keeps people talking. That's what keeps people in the game. So if you're coming in there as an artist, and you got a bit of nous about, you've made the effort to actually go there and speak to these people, kind of thing, get a couple of email addresses, send them some SoundCloud links or something, just like that. That's what having that sort of sharpness early doors is what can open doors for you. Yeah.
Have you ever like met an artist that sounds and you've been like a bit nervous to see them or anything like that?
Look, I met Loyal Carner actually in the when he played, and that was because he done a thing called like the Levi's Music Project, which was in collaboration with Levi's, where he took like I think it was 10 or 12 local aspiring artists, worked with them in a studio in Anfield to sort of like help further their careers, and then it finished with a performance by them each at Sound City. It was like a big mentorship thing. So he was there just like floating about on the site on that Sunday, and then he was there, and we done out constellations that was all branded, and there was like portraits on the walls of each of these artists, and some of them are like absolutely smashing it now. Like there's a lad called Michael Aldag who was on it, and he's just like about to blow up massively. And there was this girl called Lydia as well who's smashing it. And anyway, so he was floating about, and I was just there. To be fair, with my social media thing on, I was just like, oh, you all right, Loyal? Can we have a picture for our Insta? And he was just like, he was dead sound, but I was just a bit like, I haven't been there that long, and it just felt a bit weird just going up and asking, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think he was made up when he realised I didn't want to be in the picture with him. I was just like, yeah, just get you in front of that.
That's good, that though, the way he done like a mentorship thing.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, we worked with them on it for a good. I think it was a 12-month project. It was literally it was just finishing just as I came in, and it was but it's sort of what we're all about. Like, we're not just a festival for one weekend a year or other events that we put on. It's very much just sort of like the core of the company, and it's like it's about emerging, whether that's like music or talent kind of thing, and it's and especially when there's not many like northern music companies. There's a few in Liverpool, there's a few in Manchester, there's a place in Wakefield opening up called Tired North, which I think that's scheduled to open, maybe like it might already be open now, but if not, definitely January next year. And that's you sort of got to have each other's backs there, and you sort of got, like, if you want to sort of make a scene, everybody sort of moves down to London. That's where it's all happening, and that's sound. But if you don't want to do that, if you like the music which is being made up here, because the music's staying there, then you got to sort of help each other out, give each other a leg up, and that's why it's in it's in our interest to try and find who those people are and just like solidifies and really put like the North on the map, which it firmly is. Sound City, Mon Sky, you're just smashing it across the park at the moment.
So come on, you go first.
Talking of Modern Sky, like, what's the relationship with Sound City there? Because quite a lot of their artists seem to be on Sound City as well.
Yeah, so it's like it's like a sister company. So Mon Sky itself is Mon Sky Entertainment is a record label based in China, and it's China's biggest entertainment company. So they done as part like they were interested in working with Sound City, and as part of that relationship, Mon Sky UK was set up, which is, I think it's been going for maybe like 5 or 6 years now. So they're very much entwined. Like there's people, like I work across both. There's people within our team who work across both kind of thing, and there's a bit of overlap between the two of them. And it's why we get a lot of the artists on that festival as well.
Where do you see Sound City being in like 5 years' time?
That is a very good question. On a May bank holiday weekend, that will always stay. Provided there isn't another like catastrophe of some sort.
Yeah.
But I think there'll be more events. There'll be more. We've got some dead exciting stuff actually, which is in the works now. Which is probably going to get announced in June. We've got like a David Bowie World Fan Convention, which is happening in June as well, which we're putting on.
Where's that going to be?
That's going to be in so that's happening in Montfordore in a day. That's sort of like we're bringing across like people who played with David Bowie from right across his career from like the 60s up until like where his Black Star album when he died, like photographers, stylists, things like that, art exhibitions, the original prints, and all coming to Liverpool for one weekend. Yeah, it's I'm a big Bowie fan kind of thing, and it was just like a mind blowing thing to work on.
How does that idea come about?
Do you know what, Dave? He's literally like one of the biggest Bowie fans you'd ever meet, and I say one of because we started working with this fanzine called Bowie Glamour, who are the biggest Bowie fans you'll ever meet. And Nick and Andy, absolute belters, the pair of them, but they probably know more about David Bowie than David Bowie knew about himself. And so we to be honest, it was one of those lockdown things. It was something that we started building. We've been speaking about for a while. Just like, we want to do like a David Bowie event in Liverpool, and then when it's kind of like when you're not putting those events on, you get a lot of. One thing which sort of came out of it is you end up with like quite a lot of headspace sort of think about like new ideas. How can we grow the company? What else can we do? So it started off as just sort of like an idea, and then I think we announced it in like June 2021, and it's coming in 17th to 19th of June this year, 2022, and it's on the 50th anniversary, the weekend the Ziggy Stardust release as well. So it's like. It's literally just like if you're the David Bowie fan, it's the place you've got to be. Like for that one weekend, the names we got coming in are just like incredible. Like Gail Andors, who played bass with him for 20 years. We got Carlos Alomar. If you get a photo of David Bowie on a stage from like 1974ish to like 95, just like you can't not see him on it. Woody Woodmans, who played drums on Ziggy Stardust in the first couple of albums as well, he's going to be there. He's the last surviving Spider and Mars. Donny McCaslin, whose band like basically just worked with Bowie on his final album, on the Black Star album. He's a jazz saxophonist, like, and then we've got the son of Chris Duffy. Is Chris Duffy the son? I think the Duffy archive anyway. Who took like the iconic like Aladdin Sane photo with the lightning bolt, like the original print of that's coming to Liverpool for it and things like that, and all the photos from that session, and just it's crazy, lads.
Imagine the stories they have.
Literally, well that's it. They're all in Liverpool for 3 days, and that's the point, isn't it? To get see what we can get out of them.
Luke asked you before your top 3 favourite albums by a Liverpool artist. What about your top 5 favourite songs?
Top 5 by Liverpool artists.
Yeah.
Oh, I've said is the Whittle included in this? I've already said 1,000 Years by the Coral. So again, She's Leaving Home by the Beatles. That's in
Good
there.
choice.
I'm bad on lists, you know. Like, do you know what? At the moment, I'm loving it. Like, it's the Jane Webster we put on Days Unknown is an absolute tune.
Yeah.
Like I'm blasting that in my car like down the motorway as a belter. Nah, I can't give it to Jamie though. Sorry, lad. I tell you what, After Dark by Spin, that's a belter from a few years ago. Things like 2018 that came out. That's a pretty early Mount Sky one actually. That's 3. See how my mind's gone completely blank. You To Me Are Everything. That Real Thing.
Strong choice.
That might be number 1 actually. That's a bit of a karaoke one. That.
Yeah.
One more. Come on, Sean. Right, I've got 4. I'll come back on a 5th one.
Sounds.
Go ahead. What would you say your favourite venue ever from Sound City is?
I love watching a band in the Cas Stockroom just because you're on them, you know what I mean? I loved it's sadly not there anymore, but Constellations was a belter, and just like we used to have like a stage on the outside of it that one of the best beer gardens in Liverpool, just like steaming hot sun, watching like that funny enough is where the career stage was, and it was just like phenomenal musicians from the other side of the world. Brick Street was great in the Baltic Triangle, and that's a mad story actually. So there's a band called No Party for Cowdong who were from, I think they're from Korea or it might be Taiwan. I'm not sure to be honest, but they sell out like 10,000 capacity arenas in the hometown, and it's just that massive like you to be fair, you go on the Spotify, it's got like millions of monthly listeners. They come into Brick Street to do like the like what is that, like a 50 capacity venue or something like that, and there's just people round the block, like people have travelled like from all over the country just purely to see them. And it was I remember just again that was another one, just like need to get a photo with these. Sorry, just yeah. In terms of this year, do you know what? I love the Arts Club Loft. I've got like just as a place for the venue, unless you're stuck behind the middle bit, which is annoying.
Yeah, that's a
Like being at Goodison.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, but they're all, you know what? They are all boss. Like, I'm buzzing at the Zanzibar's back, buzzing at Phase 1's back as well for that weekend.
You miss Grand Central though. That bar.
Yeah.
What
a bar that is.
Yeah, I know. It'll be back.
We're only talking of bars. What's your favourite pint?
Excellent question. Right, so my favourite pint in town is a pint of warm Guinness from Pogues. So you can get the cold Guinness, or you can get like the room temperature stuff, which isn't really room temperature. So I don't know if anybody else calls it warm Guinness, but I like differentiate it.
Why is it warm? Like, obviously it's warm because of temperature, but like why is it better?
Because it's just like, I don't know, like when it's dead cold, it's like it's banging when it's cold anyway. Like, but it's you know, you'd only taste the cold. But like from years ago, before they had all these fancy things, that's how it used to be. I had like the cask pumps and stuff like that. Yeah,
loads of people say that.
That's one of my favourite answers we've had. That a
warm Guinness.
We've had Guinness loads, but never a warm Guinness.
Yeah. I used to work in a pub as well, so like I'm well into all the like the real ales and stuff like that. Like there's what's called like Lakeland Brewery at the Lake District. They'll do the good bevy like.
What booze did you used to work in?
The Frank Hornby in McGull.
At the Weathers?
The Weathers, yeah.
And we've been there a few times, haven't we?
I know, man.
Probably saved you. Probably when I shouldn't have done either.
You've got any more questions before we finish up?
Best album of all time. And right. You still need to say your one more song.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. You're not letting me off with that, are you? That changes a lot. Me sort of go-to answer with it. I love Doolittle by the Pixies. That's just like a proper, I don't know. I feel like I got into that just as when I started like realising I like music kind of thing, and it's always stayed with me, and I'll just bang that on and it will always go off like. So yeah, let's go with that.
None about your fifth song.
My fifth Scouse song. Right. Yeah, shout to some artists. Those a bone.
The
I
Lars.
can't think.
Cast, Bunnyman.
Shaq.
Nah, I wanna come with myself. I've just completely wiped all of them out. Oh, lad. Do you know what? Actually, I do love Villiers Terrace by the Bunnymen. If you're onto that, but would it be my top 5? We could be here all night.
Sons.
Yeah.
Real people.
One of the Beatles' individual songs.
All right, yeah. I like My Sweet Lord. We'll go with that.
Only because I'm wearing the George Harrison.
Hey, I didn't clock that. Honestly, I clocked your T-shirt before. Yeah.
And just before we wrap up, for anyone watching, we're Sound City.
Yeah.
Get down there.
Sound City, 29th of April if you're going to conference, 30th of April and 1st of May if you're going to the festival. Tickets available at soundcity.uk.com. Do the socials as well. So it's at Sound City on Twitter. On Instagram, it's at Liverpool Sound City, and same on Facebook as well.
It's right. Get
Thanks
yourselves
very much.
down there, people.
Yeah, get yourselves down there.
Thanks very much for
Yeah,
coming on.
nice
We'll
one
be
for
there.
having us, lads. I can't believe. Do you know what? I'll be messaging you tonight, just about what the real 5 songs are. That's still me, didn't I?
Thanks very much, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much.